So I have some things I want to talk to you today about, but I have some special guests back with me today to talk about something very important that they are doing. I have Mr. Darcy Rahming Jr. with me again today, along with I believe Timothy Bain is going to speak too, but
No, it's just me today.
Oh, just you today. Oh, he just his name. He's just always there in the background supporting.
Yes,
Right,
he's my support. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man, and welcome again. I see you all continue to press along, and now you are arriving at that place where ArrowX is now ready to launch with some companies on
ready.
All right, but brother, listen.
Yes.
First of all, let's remind people what ArrowX is and what the basic business model is.
Okay, so ArrowX is what's called an equity crowdfunding platform, and what that means is simply bringing investors that are looking for a return and businesses that need capital to grow together over a regulated platform that happens over the internet. And so in many ways, it's like a stock exchange, except a modern 21st century version of one.
Which is so important for companies that feel they have growth potential, but just need to find that capital that would enable them to do it. And then on the other hand, you have people who say, man, the investment opportunities in the Bahamas are so limited. You don't know what to do and so forth. And here you have ArrowX and its platform saying, listen, we're going to bring the two of you all together, having really to some degree verified the needs of both, especially through their registration. And now you can help each other out.
Exactly. But it isn't just any old company,
right?
That can list. So we use an acronym to describe our onboarding process. So all companies, before they're listed on the platform, before they're listed on ArrowX, have to go through a vetting process, and we vet them using a team with magic, and that's short for team. Stands for the executive, advisors, and management. So who are the people in this idea? So you got somebody, a business has a really great idea, and who are the people that are going to run this thing? And then you go into their backgrounds and you say, this guy has done something similar over here. This one is an accountant. This one is a great manager. So that's the team part. Right. The magic is the business aspect of it. So there's the great idea, but it needs magic. M stands for a market that's big enough to worth going after. If you're going after something, a big idea, okay, so it's exciting. A stands for access to that market. No sense saying you're going to sell to people in Europe and you can't get in front of them. You can't get your product in front of them. So that's what access. So the market and access. The G stands for growth of at least 10 times. So that that when this company works, it's going to work big. Then the I stands for innovation. So they have to be doing something new and innovative. And it doesn't have to be technology. It could be a new process of doing something. It could be, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to innovate in business, but it has to be something unique.
Just sometimes the way you execute versus somebody else is unique, and that causes you to have an edge.
That's correct. But you got to be able to describe that, right?
Right.
You can't just say, I
execute better. Why do you execute better? How do you execute better? Yes.
Exactly. And then that C part is that corporate governance, which means, accountants and lawyers and finance people love to talk about. But basically what the corporate governance means is it's structured in a way so that when you put money in, you can get money out. And that's a team with magic. So.
Okay. And so my understanding is you getting ready to launch, is it tomorrow?
No, it's not tomorrow. It's
Oh,
on Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Monday at 9 a.m. We have certain rules regarding information and how information is distributed. And so everybody in the whole country will find out who these two companies are at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. What I can say about the companies, because I'm not allowed to tell you what they are, but what I can say is that one is a high-tech tourism company, and the other is a popular popular food chain. So that's what I could say.
Okay, and so that means for prospective investors out there, they get on Monday to go on the platform and register themselves, or what does that mean for them so that they might participate?
So that's when they're available for persons to purchase, to subscribe. Now, it's something to remember. These are assets, which means that you have to be registered. Compliance has to onboard you in order for you to purchase these assets. And so what that means is that if anyone's done any, been with the bank, it's a very similar process. You have to bring in your passport and ID number, proof of address.
So you do KYC, know your customer.
Have to.
Okay.
Yep. That's right. This is the regulated world.
Now, folks, I want you all to appreciate what Mr. Rahming is saying, is that just as they checked out these companies to make sure that they meet certain criteria to fit the profile to be listed, they are also required for you as a registered investor to provide certain information so that they know that who you are and that you are bona fides, right?
Well, so that's correct. And to add to it, why people always say, why do I got to provide all this information? But you got to remember, this is an asset. This is like your house or a duplex. That has to be registered in somebody's name. That can't be registered in your email address.
Right.
Because this, like all assets, you can sell this. You have certain rights associated with it. You have rights to go to annual general meetings. You have rights to dividends, and so that has to be registered in a person's legal name. So that's all that KYC document is there for.
Okay. So come Monday morning, Shivago Lang decides, you know what, I want to look at these companies and think I want to invest. I'm going to go on the platform and they're going to require me to fill in certain pieces of information. Are there documents too I may have to upload also?
Yes. And so what I suggest Mr. Shivago Lang does is he gets his KYC stuff in before Monday. Okay. Because the rules of the platform are it's first come, first serve. So that means if it's all gone by the time you get through compliance, you're going to have to wait until the next company's launch.
Because these companies are coming to subscribe for a certain amount, and they are going to make certain amount of shares available. And once those shares are taken up, that's the end of that offering.
So yes, that's the end of that offering, and you're going to have to wait until they start trading on the secondary market to get back in on those particular companies. But you won't be able to participate in this offering.
Okay, great. Well, I don't know, man. It sounds to me like new opportunities. This is a game changer in our environment, isn't it?
Yeah, and like we have spent a long time, 4 years working through the regulatory process, the last couple months, gearing up towards this first listing of these two companies. But we're really, really excited and happy, and the founders of these companies are really excited and happy to be able to tell their stories. And we have oftentimes, you hear me on the news media talking about making the steps we've done to reduce the barrier to entry so people can invest for as little as $25. And so it's a combination of technology, finance, and a lot of person's experience and a lot of love that has gone into this to bring this to market.
Now, outside of the cost of purchasing shares, is there a fee for registering on the platform?
No, there is no fee.
Okay.
So there's no fee for investing. So people are probably like, how does ArrowX make money? Well, we make money when the raise is successful. So that's kind of how we get paid out of all this, because obviously this isn't charity.
Right.
This is business for us as well. But our business is making sure that the company is successfully funded. The investors, them and their money are successfully protected, and only when a successful transaction happens do we get paid.
Now, as I recall it from our last discussions, a company wanting to list on the platform, as these two companies are, can't be a startup. These have to be existing companies, right?
Well, okay, it depends on how you define startup.
I mean, like by startup, I mean you have not sold one lick of a product or service, but you are.
So that's not necessarily true.
Okay.
But it has to have traction, and by traction meaning something tangible, something beyond this is not just an idea in somebody's head. This is something beyond that. So the companies you'll see are very much beyond just an idea in someone's head.
Okay, let me give you an example then. Someone used to operate a company, and they, for whatever reason, the company is no longer in operation, but now they want to get it started again, but they're looking for funds, and they come to you.
Yep. So
that's
where that is doable, because you're not talking, a green founder, right? You're talking someone who has some business experience. It has been working in industry and has, an idea, maybe some contracts lined up, something that you can say, okay, there's an opportunity here.
I got you.
And that's really what that's why an investor, he's given the business owner his dollars so that they can go after the business opportunity. And then when they're successful, he gets a percentage of that return. That's a simple way of what finance is. Just people with extra cash giving it to the people who know the business, and when they're successful, everybody benefits. So that's kind of back to the basics. But that's all we're doing in a modern context.
Right. And so do you have like other companies besides these two that you are like vetting and you expect will come on stream?
So we have another 4 that are probably within the month, but we've had 160 companies raise their hand, as well as to date, we have onboarded 2,000 investors.
Wow. So you're that's really exciting. So are you only listing local companies, or do international companies have opportunities to list as well?
Both.
Okay.
So it's both, because we view the Bahamas as a place that can become an international business hub. And so, we intend to add our gifts, and our company intends to be part of that.
And similarly for investors, can international persons also invest?
That's correct. Correct. International persons can invest by the rules. Now, we're still working out the mechanisms for, mechanically how that works, because there's the philosophy of the company, but there's also the mechanics.
Sure.
Making sure that we're
in compliance.
Yeah. All the details. The devil's in the details, right? But we will be able to at some point.
But so your platform is really global in every way in terms of the clients on both sides of the fence that you can have.
Well, it is the internet.
Yeah.
And that's one of the benefits of doing an internet style business.
Now,
Um,
as in all things, we have legal age limits for entering into contract. Is there an age limit for being an investor on the platform?
mhm. So we have in discussions, one of the things that was really attractive to the crowdfunding rules is we're trying to get it down to 15. And the reason being is that, at that age is when you really start to build your financial literacy.
Mm.
And so people will be able to, it's my hope that the next Warren Buffett is out there and he's a Bahamian in maybe ninth grade, 10th grade right now. So, he has to learn at some point, right?
Yep, absolutely. Well, I can tell you this much. My son is doing a online academy, and one of his classes, I'm talking about a class he didn't opt for. He had to take was his personal finance.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was asking him what he was learning in this class. He said, well, we were learning different uh, platforms you could use to get information, like Bloomberg, where you can get financial information, fiction, financial area, where you can get financial terms you need to define. So you're right. They're out there learning now.
Hey, and it's the earlier you can start, the better. Because this is about being financially educated as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why ArrowX, if when you go on the website, you'll see this free seminar. You'll be able to go into one of our community investor education centers, and we'll explain the process because, being financially educated, no one is born financially educated. You have to learn this stuff.
Yeah.
You have to, it's not, it's not, finance people like to make it seem super complicated. It's not super complicated, but you do have to learn it. There's no, it's not intuitive.
No.
So.
And your parents could be billionaires. That don't mean you're very financial savvy at all. You have to learn it.
Exactly. You could. Almost in many ways it can be a detriment to many if they don't get educated.
Yeah. And you have 2,000 people registered already.
Already, within the last month, people have been signing up right now. Yesterday, 125 signed up.
Wow.
So it's now obviously we're making sure that our processes are able to handle that right now as we lead to launch. But people have been really, really responsive. I think there's a great hunger right now for people to tap into some opportunity.
Okay, and so you're asking people today expressly to do what?
I'm asking people to, if you're interested. Like I said, there's no fee to sign up. So sign up, get all these KYC documents in. So if on Monday you make the decision to purchase some shares, you don't have to wait on compliance before you can purchase. If you sign on Monday at 9 a.m. and you see a company that you like, it still has to go through compliance. We can't legally take your money until you've gone through that process. Okay. So get to that before Monday. That's what I'm here.
And is it possible to say whether there are going to be minimal subscription levels on Monday, or you have to wait till Monday to get that information?
You'll have to wait until Monday. But as I like to say on television and other places, for as little as $25, we're gonna try and make sure that anyone can participate.
Because that is quite something to be able to get started that way. And can you imagine? For me, I'm imagining younger people who can, with that modest amount of money, begin a process of participating in a way that we haven't seen, at least not democratized in the Bahamas over the years. It's an incredible opportunity.
Well, we're just doing our part. It really is like the founders and the business people that are coming to the crowd do all of the heavy lifting. We're just a mechanism for them and for investors. So you know, yeah, I wish I could say it was, you know, it was just me, but even here at ArrowX, there's a whole team of 25 of us now making this work.
Yeah, and from
So
my understanding, a lot of y'all are fairly young, millennial types, and bringing your
yes,
expertise to bear on this arrangement. And this is the kind of thing that we hoped that would happen as you guys begin to make your contribution in a more substantive way.
well, you know, we're just here to do our part. We understand that this is an ecosystem. You know, we couldn't do this without many of the you know the road has to be laid before you can drive on the road. So there was a lot of things, little moving parts that had to happen before someone a group like us could even try and do this. And so you know, it's we're just the platform, we're just the mechanism, but understand there's a lot of people and a lot of places working behind the scenes to have made something like this possible.
Mr. Darcy Rahming Jr., folks of ArrowX, and on Monday, 9 a.m., there's going to be a launch, 2 companies, and before you are able to participate on Monday, you need to go register, get your stuff onboarded so you can do that. And so what's the website that people need to go to?
ArrowX.com. That's ArrowX.com.
Is in case, you know, some people are like me, are phony people, like by phone, I mean phone calling people, like to talk to people. Is there a contact in case somebody wants to talk to somebody?
Yeah, so you can call 810-0333. But you know, we won't be able to take documents and stuff over the phone for obvious reasons.
Right, that's for questions and answers if you have it.
Yeah, and if you need some help, we also have a bunch of people that are willing and able to walk people through the process. I understand that there's people that are, you know, technology can be a little scary. So if that's you, then sign up for one of our free seminars. You'll be able to come see our facilities as well as meet some of us, as well as they'll walk you through the process in person.
Mr. Darcy Rahming Jr., thank you very much. I always appreciate it. And ArrowX getting it done on Monday.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. And have a good one, Brother Lang.
You too, man. Give my regards to your father.
Will do.